What's going on, guys? Riley here from RP Productions, and today I'll be doing my review over the BMR Lowering Springs for my 2017 Camaro SS that sits back there behind me, as well as giving some really big news. This is probably one of the coolest things that I've had the opportunity to do, so just stay tuned for that. So I'll get to the big news here in a little bit, but first let's go ahead and talk about the springs and show off the car now that they've settled on the vehicle. So, going over here to the car now, it has been about a little bit over a week since I had the springs installed. And here is the fitment now. So these are the BMR Lowering Springs. They were supposed to drop the front of the car 0.75 inches and the rear of the vehicle exactly 1 inch, which I believe it pretty much did just that. So as you can tell, there is still a little bit of wheel gap that goes around, which I actually like. I think no wheel gap kind of looks like your suspension's broken, but if you'll notice, it's a lot better than it was before. Now, as I said before, the springs are only a 0.75 drop in the front and 1 inch in the back. So realistically, in terms of lowering springs, that's not much of a difference. And to the normal person, they're gonna look at the car and they're not gonna tell any difference. However, if you put the two cars side by side, so this one versus a stock 1LE, you will definitely tell that there is a difference. It's, pretty subtle, but it's there. So in that last video, I had a lot of, concerns from viewers that me putting lowering springs would mess with the magnetic ride control or just mess with the overall, geometry of the suspension. And realistically, it's not gonna do anything to this car. Some people are like, well, it lowers your center of gravity, so therefore it'll improve performance. Do I really think that's the case? Not really. I think it's such a small difference that I won't notice any changes, which I haven't already. The ride feels the exact same as it was before. I don't notice any, strange rough riding or vibrations or anything. It feels the exact same. It looks pretty much the same. So you can be the call of if that was worth doing or not. So the springs themselves, I believe, are about $250, and after you do any type of suspension work on any vehicle, not just Camaros, you do need to go get an alignment done. My alignment was like $89 at my local NTB, and it was pretty far out of spec after adjusting or putting the lowering springs on. So with all that being said, it was about $350 for me to buy the springs and get the alignment done. So was this very small difference worth $350? Well, to some people that, really care about their ride height, sure. To some people who don't really care, then definitely not. If you want my honest opinion, I really thought the springs would end up lowering the car just a little bit more. I would have been fine with that. However, I'm still pretty happy with how they sit now, and it definitely is an improvement over the stock setup. So as I said before, there's really no difference in the handling of the vehicle. When I drive around, I can't tell a difference. So there's no real point in me getting in the car and just talking to you guys about, oh wow, look at how much changes there are. And there's no changes. It feels the exact same. I know there's Eibach and I believe Fastech also make their own versions of lowering springs, and they drop the car even lower than this one. And would I recommend those? Sure, if you want to go lower than this, you can, but just know when you lower it even more, that's when you could kind of stress out your suspension components, and that's when you'll kind of start messing with the, suspension geometry. But since this one is so close to how it was before, it really doesn't change much. So to go ahead and summarize the springs, number one, they don't change your ride at all. Number two, they really don't lower the car all that much. And number three, it's about 350 bucks. Whether that's worth it or not, that's up to you. So that right there is your BMR lowering spring review. Now let's go ahead and jump right into that big news I was talking about earlier. So earlier today I was doing my taxes, which is always fun. Everybody loves doing taxes, but it's even more fun for YouTubers because as a YouTuber, YouTube pays you every month, but they don't deduct any taxes. So once a year when tax season rolls around, every YouTuber gets completely screwed when it becomes time to, pay the government for the taxes that they owe. So I was sitting there doing my taxes and I was like, oh wow, this sucks. So I was in a grumpy mood earlier for a couple hours, and then I was like, you know what? Screw it. Let's go ahead, let's RSVP to the Dodge Demon event in New York City on April 11th. And why not? Let's go to New York. So if you missed it, a few videos back I had said that Dodge invited me to come to New York for the Dodge Demon unveiling on April 11th in New York City. And when I made that video, I was pretty unsure of myself if I wanted to go or not. Plane tickets, obviously I've decided to go now. Plane tickets for me were $630, which I wasn't fond of paying that amount of money to go on a plane, but oh well, I think it'll be worth it in the end. I think just networking with other YouTubers, getting to do that, that's like a once in a lifetime opportunity. I just couldn't pass it up. So with that being said, I'm doing this one for you guys. I hope everybody will really enjoy that video. I'll also probably do like some kind of travel vlog just to kind of, you know, obviously help make some money back on the trip. So I'll have the Dodge Demon unveiling video and then some kind of New York City travel vlog, since I'll be flying there by myself, all alone. Yeah. But anyways, I think it's gonna be super cool going to New York City. I've been there before once on like a school trip. We went to like Washington, DC and New York, so like I kind of know what to expect. But just the fact that going to New York City on like a business trip for car stuff, that's just so cool. And not to mention all the other big YouTubers that are gonna be there. I know SRT Mush is going, Muscle vs. Tuner. I'm sure there's others, but those are the two that I talk to the most frequently, or most frequent. And I just think it's gonna be super cool. And yeah, I'm fully aware there's a Camaro back there, and I'm a Camaro guy. I'm not a Camaro guy. I don't really care. In fact, I do plan on buying a second vehicle for the channel, and it will in fact be a Mopar over the summer. So hopefully all goes as planned. The finances all get lined up where I can do that, and then I'll have, you know, Camaro and I'll have Mopar. But the Mopar, I guarantee you, is not something that most of you are expecting. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know the spring review was just kind of like, yeah, well, here they are, and that's pretty much all there is to it. I don't know how to make that video any other way. And then the Dodge Demon news, I thought you guys would find that interesting and find that pretty cool. So thank you guys for watching this video. I'll see you on the next one. Actually about to go clean the car right now and make a video with that. So look forward to that video coming out next. See you guys in the next one. Take it easy.